Gotcha.
Okay, all right. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to open up the regular meeting of College Township Council for Thursday, February 5th, 2026. Will all present here who can, please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we get our meeting started tonight, I would like to announce that council met in executive session prior to this meeting to discuss a township business item. Next up on our agenda, we do have a public open discussion time for any item not on the agenda. If there's any member of the public here in the room or online who would like to bring forward an issue, we ask you to limit your comments to 5 minutes. I don't see anyone online.
No.
Is there anyone in the room? Okay, seeing none. Next item is new agenda items. Council at this time may bring forward any agenda items that they would like to add to the agenda. They need to be de minimis in nature. Is there anything from council members tonight? Okay. We're moving quickly. All right. Our next item up this evening, we'll have a special presentation. Mr. Dara is here from the College Township Planning Commission to give the Planning Commission 2025 annual report.
My name is Ed Dara. I'm here representing College Township Planning Commission. This is the annual report. Basically, it's been distributed to council members, and I just want to go over some of the highlights. Back in February, we did recommend to council a DRI, that's for expansion of the sewer for the Clearwater project out on Houserville Road. That's now under construction, and that has been approved. Seven Brew, which is a new coffee company, and it's out at the Hills Plaza. We recommended approval for that in March. That is now operating. I think anybody that goes by Hills Plaza, you can see that they're operating fairly brisk out there. So that's been a big hit so far in this area. In April, we looked at Walmart. They did an expansion out there. They're going to change where the customer pickup is on the other side of the store. They're going to change some parking, and that has not started construction yet, but it should be shortly. In October, we looked at Sam's Club. They're going to have a traffic pattern change out of Sam's Club for the gas pumps to alleviate some congestion out there. So also they're looking at, since COVID, you see a lot of parking spaces that are reserved for pickup. Now, since COVID's ended, we don't see those used. So some of those signs may be removed, or they may be doing some changes that the public can use. So that would be an improvement to parking there. They're going to provide other parking for their employees along the building. So we've looked at that. Then in December, we had a busy month looking at sewer expansion for Pam Health. That will be out at the Innovation Park. That will be a 46-bed rehab center. We also looked at a subdivision of that land that will be leased to Pam Health from Penn State. So that was in December. That goes in front of the Center Region Planning Commission, I think, tonight. We also looked at Penn State Innovation Park. That was also in December. They're looking at adding 60 acres That will also be a new subdivision. There will be new zoning because that was not originally in the Innovation Park. They're going to include that in. That will be for the new ARL. ARLs over the next 30 to 50 years will basically be all located up in the Innovation Park. They have to do that for security purposes. It will not be public highways. It will be self-contained by Penn State. Most of the year, we worked on the new form-based code, which is going to be for the Dale Summit area. We looked at the streetscapes, we looked at setbacks, heights of buildings, types of buildings, parkland, open space. We just had a meeting, a joint meeting was held 2 weeks ago between the Planning Commission and Council to go over our findings and recommendations so far. We still have about, I'm gonna say 6 months of work until we get finished with form-based code. It will then be reviewed again in a joint meeting, and then it will come to council after they have their chance to really review it and give their comments back to the Planning Commission. So I don't see that getting finished until, maybe I'm wrong, but September. So that's when it will increase the density, basically in Dale Summit area. And we do have some open land there that can be developed. And we're also, that will be a good thing because it will give people more leeway of what they can do throughout College Township, just in Dale Summit. One of the big things that I think was accomplished, and this was accomplished over the last year, from October of '24 through October of '25, which was 814 Mercantine. That has now been approved. It's a 600 unit subdivision. There's also going to be changes to Shiloh Road with stoplights, turning lanes, those kind of things. The township's done a great job getting a four-party agreement along with PennDOT to make all those road changes, to make it less, hopefully less congested, but that's a dream. But, if anybody has any questions, I'll open up.
Well, thank you for the presentation, Mr. Darrow.
You're welcome.
At this time, I'd like to ask staff if you have any questions or comments you'd like to make. All right.
The only thing that I wanted to say is the Planning Commission has done an incredible amount of work in this past year. There's more to come, but they've done a great job. It's a number of the issues that they've dealt with, the DRIs, but also the continuous working with form-based code are not easy issues. There's a lot of debate, there's a lot of back and forth, difficult, tedious sometimes conversations, but I think that the Planning Commission has done an outstanding job to this point, and I expect that will continue on yet this year again.
Thank you.
Questions or comments from council? Ms. Mariner?
No, I just wanted to thank Planning Commission because you have worked very hard and had to make some decisions, and I think you're doing a great job, so keep it up.
Thanks.
Mr. Burnett?
I'm going to be more specific, Ed. You know, leaving that joint meeting, I thought about that. I was not only impressed with the presentation that staff put together for the work that was done, but also the dialogue that we had. And I think what it showed was the depth of discussion and engagement that Planning Commission committed to this. I mean, that was my biggest takeaway on the drive home. So I just wanted to express my appreciation. Same as Adam, but I wanted to focus specifically on form-based code.
It was probably good I was on vacation and went to attend the meeting.
It was a shorter meeting because you weren't there. But still productive. Excellent, thanks.
Mr. Frank?
Ed stole my thunder there. I was just going to commend him for being away, but no. Over the years, there's been highs and lows and everything. I've put the current relationship on a high, and the work that's coming and the conscientious thought that's going into is, I hope our residents appreciate everything.
And form-based code has not been easy for all of us. So we're all used to very strict codes to figure out what is commercial, industrial, residential, R1, R2, R3, so on and so forth. We had to change our whole mindset. So, there's been a lot of work behind the scenes, as well as, staff has done an incredible job behind the scenes, making things a lot clearer. Questions that we have, there's been a lot of research done. So I think it's been a good two-way street for the last 12 to 14 months. So I'm finished.
Well, I'd like to say thank you to Ed. And I would also, I'd like to thank the Planning Commission for their work because, as you said, I know that it hasn't been easy to make that mind shift from Euclidean zoning to form-based code. I also want to thank you, and I want to thank staff in particular, because I know that you worked this year on a new model for how to prepare for meetings, and I know that you put in a lot of extra time for that to lead the commission. And so I want to thank you for that, and also not to belittle the work that each commissioner has made, but it has been a really productive year, and you've been asked to do a lot, and thank you for that.
I'm retired, I have nothing else to do.
Well, you're doing important work.
Basically, it gets my wife a vacation.
You've done important work, so thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. At this time, I will change the order of the meeting. I guess that's chair's discretion.
Absolutely.
We have guests this evening, and we will be doing a proclamation in honor of Black History Month. That is in our consent agenda, and our honored guests would have to sit through quite a little bit more of a meeting in order to get to that. So at this time, I would like to take and accept a motion to pull the proclamation.
CA3A?
Yep.
So moved.
Thank you. All right. Without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Abdullah or honored guest to the podium while we read the proclamation this evening, and then after we read it, we'd be happy to take comments. So at this time, College Township, Center County, Pennsylvania. This is a proclamation P-26-01, a proclamation of the Township of College, Center County, Pennsylvania, recognizing February as Black History Month. Whereas Black History Month is observed each February to recognize and honor the rich history, culture, and contributions of African Americans whose achievements have shaped the social, economic, scientific, political, and cultural foundations of the United States. And whereas the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, ASALH, has designated the 2026 theme as a Century of Black History Commemorations, celebrating 100 years of national observances, from the first Negro History Week in 1926 to the present day, that deepen public understanding of Black history, life, Black history, life, and culture, and reinforce the importance of historical remembrance in the pursuit of equity and justice. And whereas this centennial theme highlights the impact and meaning of public commemorations in transforming how Black people view themselves and how the world perceives the role and significance of Black history in the modern world. And whereas commemorating a century of Black history observances provides an opportunity for community members of all ages and backgrounds to engage in education, dialogue, cultural celebration, and reflection on the ongoing struggle for freedom, inclusion, and equality. And whereas Black History Month not only honors the past, but also inspires present and future generations to embrace diversity, foster unity, and uphold the values of justice and opportunity for all. Now, therefore be it proclaimed that the College Township Council does hereby proclaim the month of February 2026 as Black History Month and formally acknowledges the national theme of a century of Black history commemorations. Be it further proclaimed that College Township reaffirms its ongoing year-round commitment to allyship with historically marginalized communities. This proclamation is authorized this day, the 5th of February 2026, by the College Township Council.
So,
I don't know if I was supposed to clap or anything, but I just felt, you know, it
We need
felt
a motion.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I did the same
We
thing.
need a motion to accept the proclamation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll take a second.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay. With that,
Now you can.
That's the same thing I did. I get so excited.
after we're done, we can do.
I was gonna say, yeah, do you wanna, yeah, with everybody?
With everyone, the whole group.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you for this. Many of you know how personal this is for me. You've also heard from me way too many times. So I figured we've invited a few people from the neighborhood to make some remarks. Dr. Edgar Farmer.
Thank you.
Dr. Farmer, if you would please share your name and where you live.
My name is Edgar Farmer, and I live in Boalsburg, 107 Founders Court. Okay? I'm proud of it. Madam Chairman, the members of the Township, College Township Council, thank you very much for honoring us to be included in this proclamation acknowledging Black History Month. Today is a good day because 100 years ago, in 1926, Carter G. Woodson actually recognized Black History Week. And so now, 100 years later, it has grown from a week to a month. Not bad. We appreciate the recognition and accept this proclamation on behalf of those Black Americans whose shoulders we stand on. They are vulnerable citizens in the State College community. And many of them have gone on to glory, but I think they are smiling down on us now. You may recall Warren Coleman, AKA the witch doctor.
Coming at you.
He, among others, were instrumental in organizing the Black Christian Fellowship for students at Penn State University. That eventually, the Black Christian Fellowship became Unity Church of Jesus Christ, which was on Gill Street, under the leadership of pastors Gerald Lloyd, Harold, and Sharon McKenzie. The church later moved to Commercial Boulevard, and believe it or not, has become a pillar institution in our community. You'll hear more from that from Pastor McKenzie. You may recall, when we think about those giants of the shoulders that we're standing on, you may recall Walter Terrell Jones. Dr. Jones was associate provost, who was responsible for diversity framework policies for all of the Penn State campuses. Actually, I used to work with Dr. Jones, and I miss him dearly. There are many others that I could call, but time won't permit that. But in closing, I'd like to remind the council, Township Council, that State College, Pennsylvania has two living legends that should be considered or acknowledged in our community during Black History Month. The first one, Curtis Johnson, superintendent of the State College area schools, That's a big deal. Number two, I can say that because I know this person.
Yes.
Dr. Barbara Wilson Farmer, former principal of Lamont and Houserville Elementary School. They were both first African-American administrators in their respective positions, especially in the State College Area School District. And your proclamation today actually shows the progress that the leaders and this council you're making towards acknowledging the value of diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's a big deal. I say that because in 1974, our Penn State journey started. Barbara and I came up. We actually stayed in the Autoport. And we still watch that. I think about it every time we go around. We used to live right over there. I say that because 52 years ago, we have made a lot of progress. We got some more to make, but we have made a lot of progress, and I want you to know that we thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It is with deep appreciation that we're here this evening, being a part of this time that you set aside to honor not just our presence, but also our service. I'm going to tell you a quick story. The first time we lived here, my husband was in graduate school, and every time we went somewhere and I saw somebody black, I said, "Stop the car." Because there were just that few black folk in town. And then we got connected to the church and realized there are more people. And when we left here the first time, I said if I never come back, it would be all right. Because it was quite a journey, those 3 years of his graduate education. And it was tough. But the Lord saw fit to bring us back. And it has been a wonderful journey. And your presence has been our present in terms of having things materialize in this community that we can all stand up for and be proud of. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I want you to just know, keep doing what you're doing, keep honoring people for their service, keep honoring people for their presence, because again, for each of us, our presence is somebody else's present. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I had no idea I was going to have to say something, so I'm going to make it very brief. Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Nashame Lindo.
And where do you live, Ms. Lindo?
I'm sorry?
Where do you live, Ms. Lindo?
I live here in State College. I'm currently a PhD candidate in the College of Art Education, Arts and Architecture, a dual major in art education and African American studies.
We ask anyone who comes to the podium to give their name and where they live.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's okay, I'm still working through that.
I was an undergraduate student at Penn State. I came here in 1971. At the time, I had a professor named Cyril Griffith. Dr. Cyril Griffith taught 2 courses in African American studies, Afro-American studies at the time, and African studies. So in these 50 some odd years, things have really changed quite a bit. I'm quite sure that some of my colleagues, in fact, Dr. Abdullah and I actually went to high school. He went to the boys' high school, I went to the girls' high school. And then we were here at Penn State together in those years. I graduated in '76, and then I came back in 1985 for a symposium on Afro-American art. And I came because I could not believe I was going to see black artists on Penn State's campus, because when I was an undergraduate student, nobody knew anybody. Nobody knew any black artists, nobody knew anything. There were no classes taught. But I found my history in the library, in Pattee Library. and that's where I taught myself history. Over the years, I've done a lot of things. I've traveled around the world. I've worked in the art museum world, and I worked at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture as education manager. And then I came back for my PhD because I wanted to develop an archive about that symposium that happened in 1985. Carter G. Woodson selected February, and he selected it because it was the month Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass were born. But February 1st is Langston Hughes' birthday. The other people who are born in February include Richard Allen, Langston Hughes, Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, Toni Morrison, Nina Simone, Alice Walker, Hank Aaron, Charles Barkley, Sidney Poitier. I could keep going. I mean, you could probably put a person in every day of the month of February, and these are all luminaries in our history. So I think that he was onto something. And I have to say that for me, coming back to State College after all these years, my heart is warmed, number one, by seeing a Martin Luther King Plaza in downtown State College. I called my cousin, I said, girl, you would not believe there's a plaza named after Martin Luther King. Oh, Rosa Parks, February, because her plaque is down there. So I guess there's so much more I could say. That's the educator in me. But what I will say is that I think this is a huge step forward for this part of the world. There's a number of people who would just be shocked to know that I'm in city council meeting talking about Black History Month this year. And just I will just close with something that we always said at the Schomburg Center, that in February, we're not doing anything because every month is Black History Month.
I am Sharon McKenzie. I live in College Township, of course. Our boys went to school together.
Harold McKenzie. The other half, the supporting half. We're honored just to be here and to be a part of this celebration. One of the things that comes to my mind, I think is a big part of the African American community, and our community here, the Black community here historically, is the commitment to building platforms that those who come behind you can stand on. And for our lives, I think that's been very true. We moved here in 1976, but for us, for example, the farmers, when we came here as a young couple, they were a part of they put us on their shoulders, and just from life and values and wisdom, and that has been a part of our community for such a long time, and it still is. We're looking at ways, and we are products of others being able to pour into us and strengthen us. And through that, when we have needed to find a way, that platform and those supports, both from the foundation in our lives, but also in their ongoing support, enabled us to become the pastors and pastors of our church, Unity Church of Jesus Christ. And one of the blessings there, and another part of, I think, and for peoples of color, is community. And we've been able to be a part of community and helping other people matriculate, especially being in a community where there are people who don't look like you, who may not understand who you are. And what we've been able to do with God's help and blessing and creating a love environment is help people who come from all over the place. and help them make their journey. Give you one example that I was just talking about earlier today. Was a dear, she was a PhD candidate, she was here. And at that time, the university told her that she was not Penn State material and that she should leave. And we found out about it, and then community gathered around her. We prayed for her, but we also encouraged her. She is now one of the most sought after people in her field around the country. And that's what happens when we support each other. I would like to share one more thing with you that I think in everything we do, and even as we were talking earlier this evening, you're looking at how you can maximize what you're trying to accomplish. When we take, and I'm imagining as you were doing what you're doing, you're looking at every resource that can help you, and as the council is looking at what you're doing, every resource that can help you accomplish your goal. So I want to leave you with this thought, a what if, and an exhortation. What if, instead of going with the isms that we kind of label each other with, including racism and the other biases and all those things, what if we adopt the mindset and the attitude, how can we bring everybody to the table and not judge whether they can help us according to the biases that we develop in our culture, but really look at what they bring to the table and what we include everybody. Because when we don't, what happens is we try to accomplish something and we don't have all the resources we need to accomplish. And what we accomplish is only partially of what we could become. What can we become when we look at our community with all the wonderful ethnicities we have here? And look at it, so how can we bring everybody, not based on what their race is or all that, but how can we bring them to the table so that we in State College can become everything that we are meant to be. So I just want to again, that's one of those dream thoughts, but it's not as much far as from a dream as it can be a reality, depending on how we think. Thanks again.
Thank you.
I was raised by a great-grandmother in Mississippi during the Jim Crow era. And I was just here thinking what she would think, how she would feel to know that I'm here in a council meeting and that you're acknowledging our contributions to State College and to this country. She used to have this old saying, when she couldn't explain something, she'd always say, well, what do you think about that, Mama Sarah? She said, well, all I got to say, honey, it is more than a notion. She would be so proud of you for doing this proclamation and making this effort. Bless you all.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First, my name is Terry Watson. I am a Patton Township resident. Remember,
Thank you.
I had the opportunity to do this when I'm talking about elders. Do I have permission to speak? Absolutely. All right, thank you. It's an old thing that I have in mind. It's funny that Dr. Farmer mentioned Dr. Terrell Jones. Yes. Dr. Terrell Jones was one of my mentors when I first came here to Penn State in 2007. And if you know Dr. Terrell Jones, he was a person that had a lot of trivia in his brain. He would, a lot of our meetings was like, hey, do you know why they do this? Or do you know this? And I'm like, no? Well, I'm sure you're going to tell me about it. So in the spirit of Terrell Jones, I got some things I want to bring out to light too. And we all talked about February being recognized as Black History Month. But I also want to acknowledge that this is also the year we're recognizing this country's 250th anniversary. And the reason why I bring that up is because, as was mentioned before, we are celebrating 100 years of Black History Month. And if I do my math correctly, which I used to be a math major back in the day, 250 years minus 100 years leaves 150-year gap. And I bring it up because I know that for 150 years, Blackness and our brilliance and our excellence have been ignored and not recognized. I also know that for 150 years, our heritage and our patriotism has not been included in the full acknowledgement of the foundation of this country. And I always think about this opportunity really lost. So challenging Dr. Tara Jones, I was thinking about Crispus Attucks. If you not know who that is, he was the first person to die in the revolution of this country. He was the one that was killed at the Boston Massacre. And what people don't know is that at that time, there was 5,000 African-American soldiers fighting for America's independence. Yet their names are not included in our history, nor in our textbooks. So with the theme of a century of Black history, I really am encouraged. I'm encouraged that a proclamation like this makes sure that our stories are remain told and not erased, that our independence that our stories of freedom are included in the American dream, and to recognize that freedom and independence in this country cannot be told without us. And our history cannot be celebrated without us. And those who choose to remember America without the contributions of Black Americans remembers a country built on false narratives and a country that's willing to perish. So, more truly, I'm going to just end this with a quote from my favorite author, Richard Wright. And Richard Wright wrote, "We Black folks, our history and our present begin, we Black folks, our history and our present being are a mirror of all the manifold experience of America. What we want, what we represent, and what we endure is what America is. And if Black folks perish, America will perish." And this proclamation makes sure that we do not. So, thank you so much for the proclamation, and I will pass it back to you.
I'm not going to talk anymore. Is this a good time for a picture, or let us do that?
Would council join our?
I would say